Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and today is my last day in Phoenix. I'm headed back to Chicago today. And I was reading this article while I was eating breakfast, basically saying that top law schools are starting to completely snub the U.S. News and World Report rankings and all this other stuff that's out there. And I think Harvard, Yale, and a bunch of other schools are just saying, we're not participating, we're not giving you data, we don't care about these rankings because we just need to focus on something else. And let me just say this, as a former business school professor, I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's the best move they can ever make. Those rankings they can become very toxic, creating unnaturally competitive environments that really have an impact on your mental health. And, it is fascinating to me that they made this change. I think it's really brilliant because one of the other things that they mentioned as a reason why they were looking away from that is because these rankings don't even consider how many lawyers you actually train to do good public service. They only kind of reward the schools that are training all these, these armies of corporate lawyers that are all out for money and out for blood. And there is a higher purpose in the world than just trying to make money all the time. Money is important. My PhD is in finance. I respect money, but my Lord, money can't be everything. If money is everything, then you really have nothing. And the other piece of that too that I think is really interesting was they talked about mental health. Now, remember, I when I was in undergrad, I remember applying. I remember literally looking at the rankings of the top 10 PhD programs in finance and applying to all of them so that I could get into a top 10 school. I felt like that was the most important thing in the world. I only got into 2 of them because I didn't realize how competitive it was. NYU, for example, I think they said they had 400 applicants. They accepted the top 8. I think I was number 9 or 10 on the list. I think actually I was number 9, and they said this is the first time that we didn't have one person say no, and you would have gotten in, but I was one spot out. So NYU, I got into Columbia, I got into the University of Rochester, stuff like that. Long story short, I remember those rankings, and I remember the stress. And one of the things that our generation didn't understand, I started actually thinking about these things a long time ago, is the value of protecting your mental health. I think this generation is much smarter about saying, I'm not interested in the rat race. I'm not interested in stressing myself out until my hair is falling out at the age of 30. I want to be successful, but I also want to have a good life. I want to do things like work from home, stuff like that. I used to think about those things back in the 90s. I kid you not. When I was an undergrad, my generation was kind of the go, go, go mindset. And I achieved a lot of that success. I had the highest grade point average of every finance student on the entire University of Kentucky campus. I won the Wall Street Journal Outstanding Graduating Senior Award for Finance. I was on top of my shit. But at the same time, I started looking and realizing there's more to life than just, having a ranking or having a label that says, oh yeah, you're the best, you're this, you're that. Those things matter, but what really matters is, first of all, are you happy with your life? I can't overstate the importance of mental health. That's why, for example, in the Black Business School, which is what I created after I left Syracuse University, we created the first ever Black financial therapy department because we realized that mental health is one of the number one reasons why Black wealth can't grow. Because you can't build wealth if you're just stressed out and going crazy and fighting all the time. So that's one thing. Mental health matters. Things like working from home matters because family is more important than the corporation. Somebody lied to you and told you that being at the corporation was more important than being with your family. That ain't true. You can make money and still be a good person, still be happy, still have a family, still love your kids, still do right by the people that are really in your corner. You can still make money and do all those things at the same time. That's my point. The other piece of that I was thinking about too was in addition to the mental health aspect, things like helping society matters, and they cited all these things in this article, and I thought it was really great. So I just want to say that I think that this generation, those people that are thinking that way, you have it right. I just want to encourage you to make sure you maintain balance. I also encourage you, the other piece of that, the other thing I forgot to mention, is another aspect of mental health is relationships. When your mental health is strong, you have better relationships with other people. Relationships are one of the number one drivers of how much money you make. I learned this when I was 22 years old, and I was going to see my child support lawyer because I had a baby when I was 18. You know, I made some mistakes. We all do. And when I was sitting with this guy, this white guy, I remember him telling me he went to Harvard. And I was so impressed with the fact that he went to this top-ranked law school, right? And I said, so, are you glad? Like, do you benefit from the fact that you went to Harvard? He said, no. He said, because in Louisville, Kentucky, he said that the number one driver of whether or not you get opportunities is your relationships. He said, so my friends who graduated from the University of Louisville and the University of Kentucky have an easier time making deals, making connections than I do because I am seen as an outsider. So do not understate the importance of things like relationships when it comes to your wealth building, because relationships actually matter more than whether or not you went to a top ranked school. So anyway, that's it, guys. I gotta go. I'm out here in Phoenix, and I gotta go get into my hotel room, and they locked the gate, so I gotta figure that out. But do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the thumbs up, share, subscribe button, and my website is boycewatkins.com if you'd like to learn more about wealth and all that stuff. That's what I love. That's my thing, and I'd love to help you. So take care, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Peace.